The new study showing how nicotinamide, a form of vitamin B3, can help protect against skin cancer almost reads like the plot of a comic book, except this time the science is real. If you imagine skin cancers as sneaky villains born out of ultraviolet rays, creatures that creep in through DNA damage, sowing chaos at the cellular level, then nicotinamide steps onto the stage as the unlikely hero. It does not come with flashy powers or a dramatic costume. Instead, it works quietly, invisibly, restoring order at the deepest levels of skin biology. This subtlety makes it even more powerful because, unlike a fictional hero that fights with fists, nicotinamide empowers the body's own defenses, repairing DNA damage, keeping the immune guards on high alert, and making sure those UV-spawned villains never get a foothold. The numbers themselves give this story its epic weight. In a Veterans Affairs study of more than 33,000 participants, those who took nicotinamide were 14% less likely to develop new skin cancers. And in the most vulnerable group, people who had already battled skin cancer once, the risk of facing another villain dropped by as much as 54%. This is the kind of plot twist that changes the course of a story. Instead of an endless cycle of damage and recurrence, nicotinamide equips the skin with reinforcements that make each new attack harder for cancer to win. Even squamous cell carcinoma, one of the more aggressive villains in this lineup, was pushed back, its risk lowered by more than 20%. It is not the dramatic, one-punch knockout you see in comic strips, but it is steady, clever, and reliable protection, exactly the kind of defense that changes real-world outcomes. What makes nicotinamide such a convincing hero is the way it blends seamlessly into the skin's natural systems. It boosts NAD, a molecule every cell depends on to power repair and energy production. In practical terms, this means that when UV light damages DNA, nicotinamide strengthens the repair crew, making sure broken strands are stitched back together before they mutate into trouble. At the same time, it prevents ultraviolet light from tricking the immune system into lowering its guard, keeping the patrols vigilant so rogue cells cannot grow unnoticed. This dual action is like having both a shield and a surveillance team, turning the tide in a battle that normally feels overwhelming. There is also something playful in how this humble vitamin takes on the role of a superhero without demanding recognition. Unlike niacin, another form of vitamin B3 that causes an uncomfortable flushing reaction, nicotinamide does its work without side effects. It is accessible, affordable, and easy to integrate into daily life, making it a realistic ally for ordinary people rather than an exclusive tool reserved for a privileged few. In that way, it mirrors the best kind of comic hero, the one who blends into the crowd, seemingly ordinary, yet always ready to save the day when danger strikes. Perhaps the most positive part of the story is that it reshapes how we think about prevention. For decades, the advice is focused on armor from the outside, sunscreens, hats, shade. Those remain essential, but nicotinamide adds a new dimension: inner resilience. The combination of outer protection and inner repair makes the fight against skin villains more balanced, more hopeful, and more winnable. For patients who have lived with the fear of recurrence, this is not just a statistic. It is a lifeline, a way of turning the narrative from endless battles into a sustained defense. Of course, every hero needs allies, and nicotinamide is no different. It should not replace sunscreen, medical checkups, or common sense under the sun. But thinking of it as the skin's secret weapon, always there, always ready, gives a sense of optimism that prevention is not just about avoiding harm but actively building strength. Future trials will refine our understanding, but even now, the idea that a simple vitamin can act as a shield against some of the most common cancers in the world feels nothing short of empowering. So when we talk about skin cancers as villains plotting their entry through UV damage, we can also now talk about nicotinamide as the quiet superhero on our side. It is not dramatic, it does not fly, and it will never be drawn in a comic strip. But it protects in ways that matter more than fantasy. This study offers the hopeful message that the battle against skin cancer is not hopeless, and sometimes the most unassuming heroes, like a gentle B vitamin, can keep the villains at bay.